Master Carson Shaffer, and he is an Air Force veteran. And until COVID had worked weekly for the past 11 years with residents of the VA treatment center suffering from alcohol, narcotics, post-traumatic stress disease, anger, and mental health issues. He heard many stories over that decade that affected him deeply. And today, he would like to tell you about two of the veterans he has never forgotten. Please join me in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster Carson Shaffer with his Veterans Day speech entitled, "The Cause." Carson Shaffer.
Excuse me if I leave. For the new Toastmasters, this is not a speaking style. This is an old man thing. I walked up one morning when we had our group, and there's this new guy there, Tony. Tony was about an inch bigger all around than me, and it was all muscle. And I had never seen anybody who radiated red waves of anger. I mean, it was palpable coming off of him. Enough that I looked at him and thought, if you wanted to kill me, I don't think I could get away. I'm 6'3". I've never walked through a dark parking lot and worried. But I now understand the feeling of helplessness. Because this guy was something else. Well, it turns out, when he was 14, his father committed suicide with a 12-gauge shotgun in his mouth, like Hemingway. And he said, I got a foot from the trigger before he pulled it. So that means his dad shot himself and had the shotgun from here to there. Then he kind of went crazy. And when he was 16, his best friend was shot in a drug deal, drive-by shooting, and bled out in his arms. And he said he just had to get away. So he joined the Marines. You ever heard Alice's Restaurant? He said, "Shrink, I want to kill." And they said, "We need guys like you." So they sent him over to the sandbox. And he became a recon Marine, which is the really bad guys. And then a force recon Marine, which is up there with SEALs. I'm sure force recon would say they're above SEALs. But it's the elite of the elite. And he really racked up quite a body count. Triple digits. Behind the lines with a knife and a garage. Said, I didn't bring a gun. You shoot a gun behind the lines. You know, it's like kicking over an anthill. You're just going to die. So this guy killed 3 digits worth of people with a knife. Didn't make him feel any better. Then the Marines said, you know, Tony, maybe you're getting a little bit much for what we want out of you. We're going to send you home. And they picked him up and they dropped him off at home. 2 days later, here you are, back in the world. Have a good one, brother. And he drank everything, trying to blot out all these memories. And one day, he got really drunk and told his wife that he was going to kill her. And she ran into the bathroom and locked the door. And I'm watching him give this speech. And he said, I was going to kick down the door, but I had all this energy. And I remember clearly thinking, and I'm Air Force, kicking down the door would pretty much expend all my energy. This guy punches to the right and the left of the door frame and pulled the door frame out of the wall. You talk about pin drop silence. I'm in a room with some pretty tough guys. And he said, what happened? He said, oh, my kids grabbed my legs screaming, don't kill mommy, and I snapped out of it. He said, but then I wasn't any good, so I ran off into the woods and lived out in the woods because I'm not fit to be around human people. I'm just such a terrible person. And when I met him, he didn't drink anymore, he didn't do drugs anymore. He just radiated anger. And the VA really helped me with it. The last time I saw him was over at Lake Baldwin in a tie, which I'm not wearing because I couldn't get one on, and pushing a medical cart. And every person at the VA knew Tony and knew his story. And we were all really pulling for Tony. But that's what they'll do to you. That's the price you can pay. Then I had Silas. Walked up one morning, this kid's there, and somebody comes over and goes, "Oh, hey man, that's Silas, he doesn't talk." All right, I don't care. And so we go in, and of course this kid doesn't say anything. And we go through table topics, and he got asked to tell us about a beautiful girl you knew growing up. And he stands up and he goes, "I'm sorry," and just sits back down. And at the end of the meeting, I said, "You were going to say something. What happened?" He goes, "Well, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. And even the song says the baddest part of town." And he said, "I knew all these really pretty girls, but none of them were beautiful on the inside." Silas, just say that. That is so much deeper than anything I've ever said in my life. Dude, just say that. And little by little by little, he got to the point where he'd get out a sentence or two. He never did a speech, but he got to where he could almost get through a table topic. And his last time that he was there, he got asked, "What are you thankful for?" And he said, "I'm thankful that they saved my hands and my feet because he got blown up by an IED. And he said, and I'm glad I lived, but all my buddies died," and he just stopped. There's a painting called The Wall. It's a guy at the Vietnam Wall leaning into the wall, and you can see all his friends and reflected in the wall. Well, Silas was looking in the wall, and everybody in that room got up and patted him on the back and said, "You'll see him again, just not today." And so he finished up, and he won. And so we had little ribbons that Nucitelli always bought for us. And I gave him this ribbon. He said, "I've never won anything before." I said, "Well, you deserve it." So when I walked outside, I saw the director of the program, and I said, "Hey, Doc, Silas won table topics." "Wait, what, Silas?" And I said, "Yeah, man." And I told him the story I just told you. And he looks at me and goes, "Thank you, Carson." And I said, Don't thank me." I said, "He's the one who did it." And he said, "No, Silas doesn't talk. He doesn't talk in large groups, small group, anger management, therapy, alcohol, AA, NA, nothing. He doesn't talk. You created an environment where he feels safe enough to talk. Thank you." And I've heard a lot of really bad stuff in that room, but that was the one day I went out and sat in my car and cried. Thank you.